People have been discussing how enthralled Taylor Swift appeared to be witnessing Kendrick Lamar accept his Grammys for Not Like Us, and while most people have chalked this up to the very obvious fact that Taylor is a huge fan of Kendrick, they've made music together, they're very good friends, there's something else at play here that everyone is skimming over, and as a Taylor Swift historian, I have a theory as to what that is. Taylor Swift fucking hates Drake. At the very least, she holds some unspoken animosity towards him, and I'm going to break down what that is. Now, first and foremost, back in the day, Taylor Swift and Drake were cool in the club. They were buddies. As recent as 2016, they were known to attend each other's birthday parties. You may even remember when they starred in joint Apple commercials promoting each other's songs, ironically, the songs she made with Kendrick. However, after 2016, there seems to be a fundamental change in the dynamic here. They are not pictured together ever again afterwards. Now, we flash forward to 2018, 2019. Of course, Drake was at the top of his game. He released Scorpion, his biggest album ever. He just had hit after hit after hit. On the flip side, Taylor was kind of in a commercial lull period at this time. Not that she had completely faded into obscurity, but she just wasn't the domineering force she had been in the first half of the decade. She wasn't having massive hits like she had had with 1989 and Red, and it seemed like she was kind of on the decline. And she sees even more of a commercial drop at the time with the Lover era, and this is where things start to get kind of embarrassing on her end. Now that it seems that Drake is indisputably the biggest artist in the world with the most dominance and social capital, she seems to be trying to get his attention. She speaks about him at length in her Rolling Stone article, where she effectively tries to mend a bridge between them and say, hey, Kanye West kind of fucked both of us over and we should be bonding over it. She then does a magazine cover where she's wearing a Drake pin on her coat. She even goes so far as to mention him directly in the lyrics to the first track on her new album. Now, you may be wondering, how did Drake respond to constantly being shouted out by Taylor Swift in this manner? Well, he didn't. He completely ignored her. And not only was he silent, but just a few months after Taylor publicly expressed discontent at the fact that Scooter Braun had bought all of her masters after effectively trying to end her career, he put Scooter Braun in the music video for his song Popstar and shouts him out in the lyrics. He then goes on to even make up with Kanye West, all the while paying Taylor Swift complete dust. However, after many years flying kind of under the radar, we obviously get to the Eras era, where Taylor just explodes into a level of popularity at a magnitude that we've really never seen before from any artist this entire century. And here is where we begin to see a complete inverse of their prior dynamic, where Drake was on top and Taylor was below him. Now Taylor is indisputably the biggest artist in the world, bigger than Drake has ever been or really could ever dream to be, and Drake is kind of falling off. He's not that girl like he used to be. Meanwhile, Taylor Swift is HBIC again. Subsequently, Drake begins kissing Taylor Swift's ass. He starts posting old pictures of them together on Instagram, trying to get her attention, and she just does not respond. At one point, he posts a story posing with a lookalike, and he even goes on to shout Taylor Swift out in one of his lyrics, where he humbly suggests that she could make him push his album date later just by announcing her own. Even during the beef with Kendrick, he seems to be making Taylor Swift a focal point of the feud. He talks about her in multiple of the diss tracks. He even names one of the diss tracks Taylor Made Freestyle, suggesting that Taylor has some sort of control over Kendrick. And as a result, Kendrick enlists Jack Antonoff to produce one of the Drake diss tracks as well as his entire new album. So in conclusion, my theory is that after years of Drake shunning Taylor and essentially acting like she doesn't exist or that she doesn't matter, she's kind of irritated by Drake now attempting to use her name for clout. And of course, she would now be boogieing to a song that is essentially the demise of his career, or at least any real respectable one. Time, doesn't it give some perspective?